What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. It is currently 8:50 a.m. here on the East Coast, and we're going to be doing a live stream talking about alt season right now, which is pretty apparent. I mean, there's altcoins going crazy across the board. Chainlink right now at $6.17, seeing a little bit of profit taking, but things are still looking pretty good. Bitcoin not doing all too much right now. Ethereum looking okay. And there's a lot of altcoins that are seeing some epic gains right now. So we're going to be discussing all of this and more in this live stream. And if you guys are watching this as a playback, you will have time codes below. If you're watching this after the stream is over, I'll most likely post time codes in the description. And you guys can navigate through the stream. That way it's much easier. But we're going to let people join in on the stream. And we're just going to talk about alt season and all the craziness that's going on right now. I see people are already joining in, guys. I'll be back in a few minutes. Stick around. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. So, just gonna make sure we have some music going here before we get the stream started. Let me know if the music's all right, guys. So, alt season. is upon us. Alts are seeing some incredible moves right now. And Chainlink is also doing extremely well. One of my favorite altcoins by far. We are seeing a little bit of a sell-off right now. Just some profit taking, nothing extreme. But we're going to be talking about what to look out for. We actually just hit one of my first targets, guys. Actually, a few weeks ago on YouTube, I made a video about Chainlink where I was talking about how $7.40 for Chainlink is actually a viable target. It's actually realistic. And the first target I had in mind was $6.10. We actually hit that target earlier this morning, had a little bit of a break above it, came back, and now we're testing that first target as potential support, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Looking at Chainlink right now on the weekly chart, taking out the fib extensions from swing high at $5.10 to swing low at $1.44. The 1272 is coming in at $6.10. So we hit that target, guys. First target has been achieved for Chainlink. Now, it would not surprise me to see some sort of sideways consolidation here before the next leg up. Things don't go straight to the moon unless, of course, it is V-Chain right now, which is going absolutely insane. But looking at the 4-hour chart for Chainlink, right now we're testing that first target, the 1272 fib extension, as potential support, right? If we don't get a bounce off this level and continue up, I wouldn't be surprised to see a consolidation within this range, right? So do not be surprised to see, Chainlink potentially come back to $5.70 or something like that to retest some support from the recent move we've seen here from this move on the 4-hour chart from swing low to swing high. We haven't really we're testing the first common retrace at the 236 fib retrace. So that is the first retrace we're testing right now. I would not be surprised to see this come back and test, potentially some lower retraces before seeing continued move. And that could, potentially Chainlink testing $5.76 before a continued pump. Do not be surprised to see that. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Short-term stuff does not matter. Just expect it, right? Just expect some volatility. Ultimately, guys, long-term, Chainlink is an amazing asset to be holding, and it is one of the top performers right now in the market during alt season here. It's just been seeing steady higher lows, a lot of demand for Chainlink, and I have a lot of expectations for it going forward. And I think that in the future, seeing prices like $10, $20, $50, believe it or not, is actually quite possible, right? Because Chainlink has so many use cases. It can be used by many different blockchains and many things that have nothing to do with, that are outside of the crypto industry, things that aren't even blockchain related. So, the potential gains for Chainlink are massive, and there's a big money interest in Chainlink. Like Oracle, Google, and a few others have been taking a look at it. So there's a lot of big money interest, potentially Swift. So Chainlink is one that, regardless of short term, I think it's going to be fantastic to hold. And again, we're testing the 1272 fib extension right now. So, I was saying in my last 2 videos I made about Chainlink that, probably get some sideways action here before the next leg up. So don't be surprised to see some chop. Maybe this will give some people a chance to get in before next potential leg up, right? But of course, a lot of this does have to do with Bitcoin. Depending on what Bitcoin does, Bitcoin is just going completely sideways right now. And of course, when Bitcoin goes sideways, for those of you that are crypto veterans out there, for those of you that have been around, we all know that when Bitcoin trades sideways, altcoins have a chance to move. Money starts flowing into alts, right? Bitcoin's price is stable. People feel more comfortable speculating their Bitcoin on altcoins, and we do see price movements to the upside. So keep that in mind for those of you that might not know that when Bitcoin trades sideways, excessively sideways, altcoins see movements. Very often, that's the formula that takes place because Bitcoin's stable and people are moving their Bitcoin to alts. So that is how I feel about Chainlink right now. And again, for anyone who just hopping into the stream, welcome to the stream. Definitely smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. And, when the stream's over, I'll have time codes in the description so you can navigate your way through the stream and watch it a lot easier that way. So we just discussed my thoughts on Chainlink, and we did hit my first target. Second target, $7.36, $7.40 or so at the 1618 fib extension is what I'm looking for. But, you know, of course, like I just said, you never know. Some kind of consolidation before the next leg up is actually quite likely at this point. So don't be surprised to see some volatility. What's up, guys? Just going through chat real quick. I've missed a lot of chat. Yeah, guys, VeChain, let me look at VeChain real quick. So VeChain is, you know, just tested above the all-time high, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is the all-time high from September of 2018, I believe. VeChain is absolutely mooning right now. I don't hold any VeChain, but I just caught my eye today. It's just insane. From swing low, from the bottom of the panic of the global pandemic to where we are now, if you bought that low just by chance, you're up 1,300%. Well, that move was about 1,300%. You know, I mean, more realistically, you know, like 650%. Insane stuff. VeChain going crazy. But of course, guys, you know, buying into a pump is such a bad idea. Like buying into something like this, I wouldn't do it, right? But that's just me. I could be completely wrong. But I also don't really know all too much about VeChain, so maybe it is a viable option. But 4 hour right now going red for VeChain. I think that this pump will probably we'll see. I mean, we haven't seen, there was no peak in volume here. So that could mean that VeChain actually still has some room to move up. Actually, now that I'm looking into the 4 hour chart, if there was a major spike in volume on the 4 hour for VeChain that exceeded the previous volume spike, then I would say, okay, this pump is probably over and we're going to dump. But it seems like it's actually, you know, you never know. It's possible VeChain could keep going up, but this thing has been pumping extremely hard recently. Crazy, right? Looking from, I mean, right now, looking from like June 30th, June 29th, I mean, it's up 134% in just a week, right? Just a week, 134%. It's a little dangerous to buy a pump like that, but VeChain is doing extremely well. So congrats to anyone out there that is holding VeChain. Chainlink's pump is a little bit more modest, You know, in the past week, it's up like 35%, pretty good. Chainlink, definitely one of my top alt picks right now. Ethereum is also looking prime, right? You know, Ethereum, oh, we got a donation. I think I missed this. David Kim coming in with a 10. David Kim, I appreciate it, my man. Yeah, that reminds me, guys, definitely join the Patreon. Sorry, not the Patreon, my bad. The Discord, sorry. Join the Discord. I'm going to post this link right here. Join that Discord. David Kim just donated. David Kim is one of the mods in Discord. His name is Debreed. So definitely hop in there, guys. There are some mods in there that can answer questions for you and whatnot. So hop in that Discord. And, you know, we're always in there chatting throughout the day, periodically chatting throughout the day. And we're trying to grow that Discord channel, guys. We're trying to grow it. I think there's like 1,500 members right now, but it would be nice to hit that 2,000 mark in the Discord and beyond, right? So definitely join the Discord. It's a great community, a lot of great people in there. So we were just talking about some altcoins. Let me just go through chat. I think I missed something. Much appreciated, David. Shout out to David. Kevin Blanger is in the chat. Says, we live. What on earth is going on with Dogecoin? I actually haven't even seen it. Let me check. Oh yeah, also Cardano is doing really well. So I don't hold Cardano, but it is doing really well. Now there's a lot of people that are interested in Cardano. So congrats to all you guys out there that are holding Cardano. Doing really well here. From this major swing high in 2019 to swing low, just using your fib extensions. Once again, you hit that 1272 target. and now you're seeing some resistance here, right? So some of you guys, keep in mind, some of these altcoins are seeing a little bit of resistance right now, which is completely normal. Just expect consolidations and stuff, right? It's not going to pump forever. At some point, you're going to get some kind of consolidation before the next leg up. Guys, I'm very bullish on crypto overall right now. And I do think that, you know, just expect consolidations, a little bit of profit taking on the way, guys. Always expect that. Never be thrown off guard by profit taking, because, you know, profit taking is the name of the game here. What was I going to look at? Oh yeah, Dogecoin. Everyone's talking about Dogecoin right now. So what is Doge? Dogecoin's up 35% past day, I guess. What should we look at here? What has good history on Dogecoin? Maybe Kraken. Oh, Doge is dumping, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Doge is. Let's move this out of the way. So, this is a funny. You guys can't see this. This is a funny looking chart. Look how funny this chart looks for Dogecoin. It's just completely flatlines and it just pops. I mean, guys, you have to know that Dogecoin is not something that's like, as much as we all love Dogecoin, it's not something that people are banking on for like a future use case. It's really just a toy in the crypto market. It's like a little fun toy that we're playing with, right? So just keep in mind, you're playing, it's like a toy in the crypto market that people are just messing around with, right? Some crypto OGs own Dogecoin and they just pump it and dump it, right? Dogecoin is already back down to 40 sats from where? 60 sats. Yeah, that's a big dump, right? Be careful, guys. Dogecoin is not, you know, it's as much as we, again, as much as we all love Dogecoin, it is not a future, something to bet on for the future. It's like a novelty. I mean, the volume's okay. The volume's okay. So it's actually possible that you would see, if alt season does continue, you know, you could see, you know, some kind of pump before eventually a dump, right? That's usually what Dogecoin does. I have no idea. I'm not really big on Dogecoin, but I'm just saying sometimes pumps are initiated by the, you know, Dogecoin flatlines. You see a spike in volume and then it trends up. Flatline, spike in volume, eventually trends up. That kind of a thing. You know, maybe it does that. But I'm not big on Doge, guys. Don't really know what to say there. Let's go to the 30-minute chart for Dogecoin. Yeah, just a pump and dump right now. We'll see. Support could come in. Who knows? Yeah, VeChain seeing a sell-off as well. Like I was saying, a lot of these alts are going to start stalling, right? The ones that have been pumping. A little bit, maybe some consolidation taking place. But Chainlink is holding up pretty well. Let's go to the 30-minute on Chainlink. Look at the lower time frames. Again, $6.10, guys. As I discussed in my past couple videos about Chainlink, $6.10 was that first target that I was looking for at the 1272. We just hit it, so a little bit of resistance. But what's really cool is if you go to the 30-minute chart on Chainlink, we actually just found a little bit of support. So if we can confirm this as support, that would be incredible, right? So we'll see. I would like to see volume come in along this level at $6.10, which was my first target. And if we confirm my first target as support, that would be awesome. We'll see, though. We'll see. Again, I'm really, you know, I'm just doing short-term stuff because it's entertaining, but I'm really long-term focused. I don't really care all too much what Chainlink does in the short term. If it just kind of chops around here for a while and then it goes up again, it's, you know, I'm pretty patient, guys. I don't, you know, I'm not really, the day-to-day stuff doesn't really bother me that much. Let me look at chat, guys. I haven't looked at chat in a bit. Sebastian says, Tuxamuka Kevin for den input. See, I can see, I know a little bit of German, a little bit of Swedish, right? So I can read that. I can actually understand that. I'm not fluent, but I do understand it, Sebastian. Let's just go. I'm just looking at chat real quick, guys. We just went over a few things. We're looking for, you know, again, $6.10 was my target that I had for the past few weeks on Chainlink. And if we can confirm $6.10 as support, that would be epic. That would be epic. Kevin, do you have any advice for Bitcoin holders right now? Says Lupo. Do I have any advice for Bitcoin holders? Well, I don't give out financial advice, but do I have any advice for Bitcoin holders? I mean, you know, everything, we're just consolidating, right? And again, like in a lot of my videos, I've been saying that I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin right now. I don't see a reason to be bearish on Bitcoin at this point. We're holding, you know, like, let me get rid of the fibs here. You know, overall, guys, you know, and again, I'm a macro, I generally focus on macro trend trading. I'm looking at the macros. So I'm setting myself for a potential uptrend right now, right? Post-halving, Bitcoin is known to have bull trends develop post-halving. It doesn't happen immediately. It's slow. Bull trends slowly develop after the halving because Satoshi is a genius and the miners are getting less reduced rewards. So miners are receiving 50% less Bitcoin right now, which means that there is 50%. Theoretically, that would mean that there's 50% less selling pressure from the miners on the market, right? So that naturally, and at the same time, Bitcoin's becoming more scarce. So there's an increase in demand because of the scarcity, which is an artificial scarcity, but that's besides the point, doesn't really matter. Bitcoin's becoming more scarce. Miners are receiving less Bitcoin, selling less Bitcoin. That's why you have bull trends post-halving, right? So I'm bullish on Bitcoin post-halving, and I do think an uptrend is coming. So my advice to Bitcoin holders, somebody just asked, what's my advice to Bitcoin holders? You know, just stay the course. Focus on the long term. You should see dumps as gifts, right? Reverse your mindset, guys. If you're in this for the long term, reverse your mindset. Turn it around, because if Bitcoin sees a dump, I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm just theoretically, if Bitcoin sees a dump to 7,900, there should be a light bulb that goes off in your head, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm buying, right? We're dumping. I got to be buying right now, because when you're, you know, this is very basic stuff, but it's very easy for people to forget this, and sometimes they have to be reminded about this, right? When you see a dump, you should have a light bulb that goes off that thinks buy, right? Just in general, when you're long-term trading, you got to accumulate at good prices, right? Because if you're buying, so my advice to Bitcoin holders, you know, if you're buying Bitcoin, right, just all, you know, let's say you bought some Bitcoin here, you bought some Bitcoin here, or sorry, let's just do it like this. You bought some Bitcoin here, you bought some Bitcoin here, and then you've been buying a lot up here. You've just been accumulating a lot. Well, if it dumps, you need to be buying here to get your average price, at a better area, right? You want to bring your average down. So guys, just don't be too concerned about short-term dumps, right? Even if you see 20% to the downside or whatever, like 15% down, don't be too concerned about it. You know, you're again, a very important lesson right now is that a very important lesson, guys, when it comes to trading in general, especially short-term traders, actually, for you short-term traders out there, you know, your mind, again, I like to focus on psychology. So a lot of things I talk about is like psychology, but your mind is set up. Your brain is built for immediate survival. Like right now, like your brain, that's what evolution did. Survival right now, right? So your brain is always thinking right now, how do I survive? All the time. So if you react with those instincts, this is why traders mess up, because they react for immediate survival. you got to start training your brain to think differently, think long term, right? If you see a dump, you shouldn't think, oh my God, I need to sell. You should think, I should be buying right now, right? This is that, you know, just think about it. Don't act for immediate survival. Think long term. The people who think long term have an advantage, not only in just trading, but, you know, business, everything else. So looking at the chat right now, that's a really important thing to keep in mind, guys. That you got to remember that your brain is set up for immediate survival, so you have to act, you have to figure out how to fight that. So yeah, also Ethereum right now, guys, looking really good, actually. I really like the way that Ethereum looks here. You know, we have this downward sloping resistance. This, you know, I guess you could call it a multi-year resistance. And we're just sitting at it right now. Very similar to Bitcoin. Very similar to Bitcoin here, right? Ethereum and Bitcoin, similar spot. But I think Ethereum is going to be a huge gainer in the future because most of the altcoin projects that I like are built on Ethereum. So it's like a no-brainer. It's like 2 + 2 = 4. All the projects I like are built on Ethereum. Well, Ethereum has a great use case and a great future. Definitely get some Ethereum, guys. It's a very good bet for the long term. Jesus, what is up? Welcome to the chat. Ventilos, welcome to the chat. What is up, guys? Wanderlust in the chat, what is up? See a lot of familiar faces that comment on my videos and stuff. Appreciate you guys being here. Host Beef is in the chat. So, Bitcoin not doing all too much right now. What else is pumping right now? Some people are saying AVE. I'm just taking some requests at this point. How do you spell this? AV. Why do I not see this right now? We'll just go with Tezos for now. Tezos. Tezos, interesting. So, you know, we saw, I mean, right now this is interesting because we're consolidating. I haven't really looked at Tezos all too much recently, but just consolidating at this point, guys. You know, Tezos is going up right now, but I wouldn't call it a pump because we're not actually pumping. We're just consolidating. Looking at the structure from a weekly perspective, you're going to need to start breaking, you know, $2.90. 290 about. This is the, you know, this is pretty obvious at this point. You need to get above this resistance, confirm it as support for the next trend to continue. Right now you're just in a very neutral spot, consolidating. You know, if the market in general remains very bullish, Tezos will probably see a breakout. Tezos will probably see a breakout in the not too distant future. Yeah, Tezos is a pretty good project, pretty popular. But yeah, just get above 90 cents. I mean, sorry, $2.90, and Tezos should be trending to the upside. And then, of course, you're looking for like $3.15, and then the next target is the all-time high. Just consolidating here, guys. Pretty neutral. Not all too much going on with Tezos. So what was I saying before? That VeChain didn't have a spike in volume yet, so it could continue. That's what I said when we started the stream. I was saying that even though it's dumping, you know, I would... Basically, if VeChain saw a spike in volume, that was the highest levels since this area, then I would say, oh, okay, well then we probably just saw a climax in emotion. A lot of profit taking, we reverse. But it hasn't happened yet. Not yet. We haven't seen a major spike just yet. So we'll see. Hasn't happened for Chainlink either. Litecoin has not been performing all too well at all recently. So what time is it? It's almost time for the stock market to open, which we can watch live here. We'll watch the stock market open. Futures are up 0.12%. So futures are just stable at the moment. So we'll see what the stock market does in about 10 or 9 minutes. In about 9 minutes, guys, we're going to watch the stock market open. Futures are just hanging out up 0.12% for the S&P. So let's look at the S&P. Yeah, so what I was talking about in one of my last videos was that the stock market is most likely being adjusted for inflation right now. Most likely the reason why it's performing so well is because the Fed is pushing prices up to adjust for inflation. That is my best guess as to why, you know, everyone's confused. Why is the stock market doing so well right now? Well, that's probably why. They're printing trillions upon trillions, and they got to adjust for inflation, guys. You know, some people are saying, oh, there is no inflation, but it's going to happen, right? You're going to see inflation, most likely. But what's interesting is the pattern that we're in for the S&P right here with these lower low, lower high formations is something that we actually see routinely at the end of major market cycles. Right? But then again, I mean, it's a little bit different this time around because we're in a health crisis, not a financial crisis. That, you know, what happened in the global markets recently was due to a health crisis, like a panic because of a health crisis. Of course, it had an impact on finance and economics, whatever, but it was not due to a financial crisis. 2008 was due to a financial crisis, but what happened recently was due to a health crisis. So I don't necessarily expect something like this. Of course, I mean, is it possible? I guess it's possible. I don't necessarily expect anything like this, right? I think that most likely we'll just see like volatility. It's always possible that we get a lower low though. We'll see how things play out, but things are looking pretty good in the stock market at the moment. Of course, seeing some kind of reversal, a lower low in the S&P, you know, something like this is possible. But we'll have to see, guys. I mean, things can remain bullish right now. I'm not bearish on the S&P at the moment. There's no reason for me to be bearish just yet. One of the things that I was talking about in some of my videos is this level right here. So let's take out some horizontal lines and go with the resistance. So this area right here in 2018, 2019, very major resistance point that we rejected multiple times, but we came back and tested near it as support. So 2,950 for the S&P would be my area of basically like, okay, if we come back, if the S&P drops below 2,950, this is when I would say, okay, reversals, you know, becoming very likely, right? 2,950 is that level. if we hold above, you know, as long as we hold above it, guys, then things are okay, right? As long as we hold above this area, things are looking pretty good. And actually, things could become way more bullish than you expect in the stock market. It's quite possible. You know, it's even possible that there's some kind of major fake out in the global markets where we do like range to a new all-time high, then reverse. We see this pattern happens a lot actually, because you get a huge increase in liquidity here, and it's way better for profit taking. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this either. Again, it's so, you know, the global markets are so hard to predict. There's like a news article one day, there's this event, there's that event. It's very hard to say, but I just look for patterns in the stock market that tend to repeatedly play out. And basically, in my opinion, the two options are all-time high before a crash or a dump, or you know, maybe just like a lower low, descending, broadening wedge type pattern. That's very common in the stock market as well. We see this type of stuff a lot. Happens all the time, guys. A little bit, not really right there, not really in 2008, but these lower low, lower high formations. We'll see. I'm just completely speculating right now. So Chainlink just got some support off of my first target at $6.10. This is pretty awesome. Like to see that. Again, this is just the lower time frames, but the fact that we're holding the 1272 fib extension target as support. So that's really cool. You know, there's a lot of interest in holding Chainlink, guys. There's a lot of people that are holding Chainlink and that are not interested in taking profits, because it is it is something that people are looking at for the long term. So I don't see that much selling right now. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, this is just a live stream hangout where I just talk. We hang out and look at chat. If you're enjoying the live stream so far, definitely hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I think we're almost at 23.3K. Oh, we just hit it. Let's get to 23.4K subs, guys, if we can. And also, we have like almost 300 people watching, so we should have at least 200 likes by now if there's 200 people watching. VeChain stalling out after this pump. So, you know, maybe some kind of consolidation for VeChain. And Bitcoin just trading completely sideways at this point. Let's go through chat real quick. Somebody says Zcash. Are we seeing moves for Zcash? Not much movement here. A little bit of upside. So Zcash is still just trending below. So the first thing that I see, the first thing that comes to mind when I look at this chart is just looking at horizontal support resistance. If you mark up this support level right here, it looks like it's acting as a little bit of resistance. We are starting to pop above it. This previous support from 2018 was giving us some trouble. We just popped above it, confirmed it as support for now, actually. So that's, you know, you're making progress from that area, from that front. I mean, major support from 2019. Now actually support. That happened really quietly. Just kind of trended above it, support. So we're slowly trending up for Zcash. It has been underperforming. Privacy coins, guys, have been underperforming as an asset class. It's been underperforming, right? Privacy coins not doing that much. And I'm pretty curious to know what the reason for that is. But, you know, Monero probably didn't do all too much either recently. So right now you got to get above $59 for Zcash. And then your next target is this previous high at $70. $72. And then after that, you're pretty much clear for 115 or so, maybe $124. But, you know, very, very much underperforming, guys. There has been no breakout for Zcash, no spike in volume here. So, you know, you got to see some volume come in if you're going to see any real movement. So there's no real, for Zcash, there's no confirmation of any breakout or anything. Not really a mover right now. But it is one of the most popular privacy coins. Monero also underperforming probably. So we just looked at Zcash. Look at Monero, guys. Like I said, privacy coins underperforming. Major support from 2018, still below it. Still below that, that major support before the crash. So Monero also, you know, a little bit more popular than Zcash, but Monero also underperforming. You know, at some point there might be a move to privacy coins. Like there might, you know, you might see money flow into privacy coins, and there, you know, we'll see how things play out. But right now, privacy coins seem quite unpopular at the moment, and they're just both Zcash and Monero are both just, you know, not even able to break previous support or, you know, resistance right now. Looking at chat, I'm not really sure what to think of this. Just underperforming. You know, that's interesting. Monero and Zcash are like kind of like legacy, I guess, like legacy cryptos. And so is Litecoin. And they're all underperforming. Which is interesting. That might mean that there is, in XRP is also underperforming. So that might mean that, you know, maybe things are developing in a way that new money is looking at other things and not the old coins as much. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Of course, Bitcoin is the #1 trading pair in the market, and it is the preferred store of value in crypto and the preferred hedge against inflation for, it's becoming a hedge against inflation for Wall Street, actually, which is pretty awesome. Wall Street funds are buying Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. But again, for, you know, for Monero and Zcash, very similar spot. You got to get above some of these previous resistances. And actually, now that I'm looking at it like this, it seems like they're kind of just following the similar pattern to Bitcoin and Ethereum, where they're just like hovering below this longer term multi-year resistance. So maybe they'll wait for Bitcoin's lead at this point, probably. Zcash Monero will probably wait for Bitcoin's lead. But they're underperforming, which is not great. David Kim says network hash for XMR has been increasing like crazy. Maybe people are using it for, you know, guys, what's interesting is Bitcoin was originally created, Bitcoin was originally used by criminals, right? That was a huge use case, was transacting, you know, on the network anonymously, which is really not anonymous. But, you know, that's what originally it was harder to track people that were using Bitcoin. Now it's very easy to track people using Bitcoin, but before it was very hard and nobody knew what was going on, so criminals were just taking advantage of it. It's possible that criminals might have to move towards something like Monero, and network activity for Monero might be increasing because criminals are actually using it. So, guys, and this is not to bash on crypto or anything. You know, when you know, criminals, I think I read somewhere that criminals invented shoes so that they could run away faster and step on rocks and not get hurt. So criminals were the first ones to think of, like, put on shoes to protect my feet so I can steal something and get away faster. So, like, criminals actually innovate, guys. Criminals actually innovate. And there's a lot of developments from criminality, which is kind of funny. And crypto benefited from that. So who knows? Maybe Monero might benefit from that as well. VeChain, unbelievable move here. Killa G says that logic is so dumb. It's really not. It's really not dumb, guys. If people, it's very easy to track Bitcoin right now. Criminals are starting to move away from I mean, they're not. There's blockchain intelligence groups, guys, that are becoming really good at tracking Bitcoin, and over time, it's going to be very, very difficult to use Bitcoin for crimes. It's going to become very difficult at some point to do that. So privacy coins have to be developed for criminals to use, which is great for people that want privacy. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation, guys. That's just how it plays out. Load it up on link after your analysis load it up on Chainlink after your analysis last live stream. It's been amazing for me. Here's my appreciation for your non-financial advice. Mark Duncan coming in with the 5. I appreciate it. Wait, Mark, did you just get into Chainlink recently? Or did you have some before? I mean, guys, history repeats, says Anthony. Yeah, I mean, guys, it makes crypto sound bad and look bad when I talk about that, but people, criminals used Bitcoin, and that was one of the reasons why it became so successful, actually. And now Bitcoin's harder to use privately because it's being tracked by the NSA, by all kinds of different organizations. And so criminals are going to have to innovate and create privacy coins, which is good for us that want privacy. Everyone can benefit from privacy. Killa G, I guess we just disagree. Not much. So Mark says not much link. I was BTC and VeChain holder. Oh, VeChain. Well, then you're doing extremely well. VeChain is unbelievable right now. So again, like I was saying in the beginning of the stream for VeChain, we saw this spike with this spike in volume, but we continued up. And we have not seen a climax, right? We have not seen a climax in volume yet, right? In order to identify a climax, you want to see like this area right here. This area right here, see this? For VeChain? A peak in volume and then a dump. So there was a spike in volume here, but we continued up, right? And we didn't see that much selling. So what we want to see to identify a top is the next major spike in volume. So like maybe VeChain actually pumps more, and then you see a spike in volume that's preceding previous levels. I actually think that's quite possible right now, but I don't own any VeChain. This is just how I now analyze potential tops in the market. You got to use the volume, guys. The volume is huge. When you're identifying a market top or a market low, volume is like the key. That's it. Period. Volume is the key to determining market tops and market bottoms, because that's all it is. It's the volume, right? Just like for those of you that watch my content, you're already educated on this. But like this peak in volume right here, what happened there? Well, we hit 13.8K. This spike in volume here, what happened there? Well, we hit at least pretty damn close to the low. 20K spike in volume. What happened there? Well, we hit 20K. We sold off. What happened at this spike in volume? We hit 38.58. Guys, literally the day after we hit that level, or right when this weekly candle closed, I was calling the bottom because of the volume. You can go back in time. I was posting on Twitter. I was posting on YouTube. I was saying, look, guys, we have another major spike in volume. Market low. The volume is key to determining market tops and market bottoms. It was just staring me in the face. And I can proudly say that I did call the bottom after this weekly candle close. I didn't call it the day of. I called it as we close that weekly. And it was so simple. It was just, it's super important. You have to listen to this. When you see a spike, right, a peak in volume, and then the price action stops at that level and reverses with the volume peak, that is your indication of a market top. Comes down here, dumps, price action stops at this level, peak in volume, reverses. That is an indication of a market bottom. Look at it's like, just look. Look at that wick at the top with the spike in volume. Look at this wick at the bottom, the spike in volume. That's the type of stuff you look for. And as you guys know, if you're watching this channel, right when we broke this parabolic trajectory, we had the indication back here, and we were looking for 7,200 after that, since this range right here. From these types of signals, this is real stuff. And, you know, I was calling this downtrend, calling this descending triangle breakdown, and that's when Sunny Decree gave me a shout out. So shout out to Sunny Decree for that shout out, which made me gain tons of subs. My sub count like doubled in a day. It was nuts. But this is real stuff, guys. This is like how you actually identify market tops, market bottoms. And like I was just saying, on the lower time frames, that's the kind of stuff you can look for on lower time frames as well. Seeing that that peak in volume with the price action halting, right? Which, you know, it happened here, but there was like no selling, right? You saw it halted, and we kind of just traded sideways. There was no reversal, right? So it's possible that VeChain could actually continue up before we get that major spike in volume, price action halts, then you reverse, what I just explained. Very, very important stuff. That is like a formula that you look for when things are pumping. And that can be great for identifying when to take a short position. That's that major spike, but you have to understand how to identify it, right? You could misinterpret it and really get yourself wrecked if you don't know how to interpret it. Bitcoin looked pretty bullish. Bitcoin is looking pretty good right now, guys. It's nice to see that Bitcoin is not just reversing here, right? We're actually finding support now and continuing up. So we'll see. Bitcoin is now gotta get above 9,380, and then we'll see some moves for Bitcoin potentially. We're gonna retest this resistance area right now. This could be interesting to watch. This is the stock market. Oh, the stock market's been open. I missed the open. Damn it. Hold on. Stock market is up 0.6% right now. Interesting. So this could be interesting. Like I was saying earlier in the stream a little bit ago, I was saying that before any major reversal in the stock market, it's possible that we might actually hit a new all-time high first, then reverse, because that is a common pattern you see in the stock market during these major market cycles. Now, I'm not saying we're going to crash afterward, but you hit a new all-time high before the major dump, before another major dump, I mean. You actually see this stuff a lot. You never know how things are going to play out, guys. Treasury markets are so hard to predict. I'm just being very speculative. But things are just looking really bullish, and the Fed is adjusting it for inflation, so prices are going up. And I would not be surprised for this thing to be more bullish than anyone really expected. Would not be surprised to see that. A lot of times markets are more bullish than you expect, or more bearish than you expect. Or more boring than you expect. Usually the market is not going exactly with your expectation. Usually what you want to happen in the market doesn't happen. Or it happens extremely well. It's like Yeah, I think you guys, if you guys trade in the market, you know what I'm saying. If the S&P does do that speculative idea where we actually hit a new all-time high before reversal, just a guess, you know, that's gonna be really good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin would get a breakout at that point and potentially create that next uptrend. Guys, I mean, look at this. Bitcoin is just resting on this multi-year resistance, just hanging out right along it. Altcoins are just popping off like crazy right now. And once the altcoins top out and start selling off, people are going to start shifting into Bitcoin, right? Altcoins are going to dump at some point, at least consolidate, right? I'm not saying it's over or something, just, you know, some sell-offs. As a long-term trade, I don't really care about short-term sell-offs. It's whatever. The altcoins are going to start selling off a little bit, profit-taking. People move money back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up again, right? Right now, Bitcoin's going sideways, so money is going into altcoins. This is the formula. If you've been in this market for a few years, like I have, this is the formula you continue to notice over and over again. Chainlink doing pretty good, finding support at $6.10, which was, if you guys watched my past two videos, $6.10 was the target, the first upside target. Actually, I've had this target for months. I've been doing this fib extension drawing, or this fib extension analysis for many, many months at this point. And $6.10 was always my first target to the upside, then $7.40. And we're finding support off $6.10 in the lower time frames, which is pretty cool. S&P inflation pump. True. But, you know, it's just adjusting for inflation because your money, the money in your bank will become less valuable and you have to spend more to buy things. So the stock market price is going up. Yeah, it's cool in the short term, but it's actually kind of a negative sign for the dollar. Guys, we got 300 people watching. We need 300 likes on this video. We should have 300 likes. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe as well. One second, guys. Yeah, one of the altcoin picks in Patreon is up like 85% right now. So I have a few altcoins that I added to the Patreon portfolio that I haven't even talked about here. People are saying they're up 95% on Link, 120% on Link. I'm wondering if you guys bought in way earlier or if you're on leverage or something. What? Punked says, what will the market do if Kanye gets elected? Geez. I don't know. That would basically confirm that we're living in a simulation. If Kanye becomes president, we are, in fact, living in a simulation. Or everyone's just completely retarded. I mean, Kanye wins at that point, but honestly, I don't even think Kanye would like to be president. I think he's just doing it for publicity and just to be Kanye, his brand or whatever. As like some eccentric guy, right? He's not really going to be president. Nicholas says, your earlier points, you said that to your earlier point, Kevin, isn't a financial crisis a health crisis interlinked? They aren't mutually exclusive. Well, yeah, guys, of course they are. Of course they are. What I was saying, though, is that if the 2008 crash was caused pretty much solely by a financial crisis, housing, the bubble, everything, right? Financial crisis. But this dump was caused by a health crisis, which is turning into, which is giving us a lot of resistance in the economy. There's like supply chain halts and, resulting in some financial issues, printing of the dollar, all this stuff. Yes, it is. Of course, it is a financial crisis now, but it's not as significant as 2008 in terms of the financial side. It could, who knows what happens later on? Who knows? It's not like a major financial error like 2008 was. It's different. I just don't think that you can really expect the same thing to play out now. I think, we'll see. Oh, nice. Look at this, guys. Bitcoin just popped off. Bitcoin is now at 9,436. Let's go. Okay, this is what I was just saying. This is literally what I was just saying. Some altcoins are selling off right now. We're watching this live, guys. Some altcoins are seeing profit taking right now. Money goes to Bitcoin. This is the formula. I was literally just explaining this. And we're now popping off pretty fast here. Breaking above previous resistance. Oh boy, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, guys. Bitcoin's popping off. Drinking my coffee as we watch Bitcoin pump. Hold on. 30-minute chart's looking interesting. Just a nice snap to the upside. We'll see. Again, like I was just saying like 10 minutes ago, after altcoins hit a peak, some of the projects will start to sell off. Money will flow to Bitcoin. We're seeing it live right now. I'm going to change the title to Bitcoin Pumping. Well, alt season epic Bitcoin Pumping. There you go. Looking at Link weekly volume gives me the impression we have room for more before the top according to what you just taught. Nice. So Live Free coming in with the $5. Live Free is now applying the lesson I just gave on market tops and market bottoms with the volume. And I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. It's most effective on higher time frames, so it's good that you're talking about the weekly. And yes, guys, Link has not seen a spike in volume, has not seen a peak of emotion and a peak of volume yet. So it actually makes sense what you just said, that Chainlink has not peaked yet. Regardless if we see a consolidation here, right? We haven't peaked yet because the volume has not climaxed. So in order for there to be a peak and a dump or something, right, you have to see a spike in volume. You almost every time on the larger time frames, that's what you see, a spike in volume. Price action halts, you see that reversal candle, then a sell-off. Guys, that is the formula, I'm telling you. And I'm glad that Live Free is actually implementing it. We talked about this before. This is such an important thing. Look at these two wicks at the top and bottom, volume spike and volume spike. And what Live Free was just saying is that Chainlink has not done that. There has been no spike in volume So this run is just getting started, guys, actually, for Chainlink. Realistically, this is actually just getting started. You can see much higher prices from here for Chainlink. If you consider that that is the proper way to identify a market top, and we haven't seen that for Chainlink. So you guys, again, you got to learn these types of things so that you feel more comfortable in the market. So you know what you're looking for. You know what to identify. You'll feel way more comfortable as an investor, as a trader, if you know what to look for. So if anything, that one lesson will help you out a lot. So let's see what Bitcoin does here. Seeing a nice little push to the upside. So now VeChain is seeing a little bit of a spike in volume because of the selling, right? So now it's, you know, again, lower time frames, we'll see. But this is literally what I just said. Altcoins take profit, money goes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pumping right now because things like this are happening all over the market right now. All the altcoins are seeing a little bit of a dump, probably, most likely. If I just had to take a guess, all the altcoins are seeing a little bit of a, not all of them, but most of them are seeing a little bit of a dip right now. And the money's just going into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pumping. So that's pretty cool. We have 338 people watching right now, which means we should have 338 likes, guys. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new here, guys. Somebody says Ethereum is popping. I'm looking at Ethereum right now. Ethereum is moving up with Bitcoin. This is you know what I've been saying, guys, is that and especially if you're in the Patreon, you guys know I've been talking about Ethereum, how it's just in a very similar position as Bitcoin. It's very, very similar stuff going on. Just waiting for Bitcoin's permission, kind of, at this point. Ethereum, Bitcoin, very similar stuff. Right? So now that Bitcoin's going up, looks like Ethereum wants to go up as well. And that's the thing, Ethereum is also very much solidified in this market. A lot of projects are built on Ethereum. There's a lot of high hopes for Ethereum 2.0 and stuff. So it's one of the top, you know, it's like Bitcoin Ethereum, right? So it's like one of the heavy hitters. So it's not like a random alt that just pumps and dumps, right? So it's gonna follow Bitcoin. But there's a lot of demand for Chainlink right now. So we'll see if we can confirm my first target that I've had for a few weeks as new support here. We'll see. All right, let's see what Bitcoin does. Giovanna says, I bought more Link when Kevin made a video last Bitcoin went down to 4K and Link was around 2 to 3-ish. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, guys, I hope I inspired you to buy some Chainlink because it's been amazing. You know, some people, for a while, people were like complaining that I was like, you know, like shilling Chainlink or something. They thought that like they thought Chainlink was paying me to shill it. And I was like, guys, like what? It's like one of the only altcoins I talk about. But yeah, You know, Chainlink is revolutionizing smart contracts, so that is a huge step for crypto. Steven says, I remember when Kevin would walk away from, back in the day, Kevin would walk away from the stream and Bitcoin would pump. The only thing, guys, the only thing I shill is Cryptowatch. The only thing I shill is Cryptowatch because it is a platform that I literally used for years before I was sponsored by them. So it's like it's something that I'm actually using. It's not like, oh, these people are paying me to say this. It's like, no, I use this like every hour of the day, guys. Every hour of the day I'm on Cryptowatch. So I don't have any, you know, I don't even know what to call it. I love promoting Cryptowatch because I use it. So there's no shame in shilling Cryptowatch for me because I love the platform and I'm always using it. So I have the only thing I've ever promoted on this channel was Cryptowatch and my Patreon. I don't just show random stuff. Only things that I'm using, right? You're not going to see BS from this channel, guys. Bitcoin looking pretty good. Bitcoin looking like it wants to continue up potentially. Riverman says best channel by a long way. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Is it sensible to wait for it to correct? Leon says, link to expenses without. Is it sensible to wait for it to correct? So that's a question I've been expecting to get. Hold on, I'll answer that in the question. Neto says, Leo, I'll answer you in a second. Neto says straight up no leverage BS. Yeah, guys, I do not promote leverage because I don't use leverage because I'm smarter than that, right? I'm smarter than to use leverage. Now, some people can properly use leverage because they know what they're doing. They understand how to manage risk, and they understand when, you know, that they should be cutting their losses quickly, and they're not being dumb, right? But a lot of people in crypto have no experience with trading stocks, and they just hop into this market, and they're like, oh my God, I could put in $1,000 and trade with 100,000 on 100x. Wow. And there's like, or 20x or 50x. And you have to know, guys, that like so many people get wrecked on leverage. I don't want my viewers to get wrecked, right? People that promote, okay. So if you use leverage and you promote leverage, that's different. You're using it. That's something you do. Fine. But if you're just promoting it to make money, that's very bad because your viewers are going to get wrecked by you for promoting it. And then what happens then? They leave crypto. They lose all their money and they're like, screw crypto, I hate this. And then you lost a viewer, right? This is why I don't promote leverage. I don't want to lose viewers because they get wrecked. I want to show them long-term strategies, how you're going to survive, right? How are you going to survive? It's the only way to be. Leo was asking, is it too late to... guys, again, I'm not saying that you should... I'm not saying that leverage is all bad. Actually, I could explain why leverage is useful. Sorry, Leo, I will explain the entry for Chainlink in a second. But here is one way where leverage actually becomes good. I don't even know if I need to draw it necessarily, but... like, if you have, this is one reason why I would say, if someone told me they were doing this to use leverage, then I would say, okay, so let's say you have $1,000. This is just an example. You have $1,000 in your account, and you don't want to risk all 1,000 on a trade because that would be stupid. What you want to do then is take out $200 and put it on 5x. That way, you're trading with $1,000 of value, right? So you're trading with that $1,000 of value, but you're only risking 200. You're only risking $200 to trade with the same value. Well, if you're on 5x leverage. This is where I would say, okay, you're using leverage to decrease risk. Great, awesome. You're using leverage properly. Great, this is fantastic. You're risking less money. You're putting less money in the market, which means you're risking less, and you're trading with the same amount of value. Cool, great use of leverage. But if you're just like, oh man, I'm just going to take all my money and just throw it on 50x, like, I mean, you're going to get screwed. You're going to get screwed, especially if you don't understand how to set up proper risk to reward ratios. You're going to get screwed, guys. But this is one use case that's great. Use leverage to decrease risk. You have $1,000, take a portion, use leverage to get back to that original value, like that kind of a thing. That's good use of leverage. Other than that, leverage is just insane, and you're going to get wrecked. And you probably already have got wrecked by it. If you're somebody watching this right now and you use leverage often, you've probably already gotten wrecked, right? So, and it becomes addictive. It's very bad. It's like a drug. It's like gambling, right? But if you use leverage in the way that I just explained, it can be great. So now that we're on this topic, one thing I want to do is actually show you guys this video that I made about risk management for all you guys out there that are short-term trading. Check out this video about risk management, because if you guys are short-term traders and you want to understand how to be profitable as a short-term trader long-term, I'm going to post a link in the description right now, or sorry, a link in the chat box that you got to click on, you got to watch. If you're a short-term trader, you got to watch this video. So definitely check that out. And also subscribe to the Cryptowatch channel while you're at it. All very important stuff. The wife thinks I have a problem. I lost the right one to the cartel. The wife thinks I have a problem. What? Don't get mixed up in the cartel, guys. Rob K says leverage gets messy when you trade when your trade goes the wrong way. Then managing risk becomes tricky. Guys, you should be managing your risk right away. Don't like wait to do that. Again, guys, I'm just going to post this link again, because if you're having trouble trading leverage, you got to watch this video. At least bookmark it, open the tab, leave it open, and then watch it after the stream. So let's see, guys. Right now, Bitcoin just saw some rejection along this multi-year resistance line. So, but it's not that much selling yet. So we're going to see, check it out, right along that multi-year resistance. And again, you know, some people are like, oh, Kevin, you're not doing this right because you're not drawing the thing at the wick at 14K because you got to have the wicks. You don't always have to account for wicks. Wicks are not always important. I like to take the meat of the move, the area with the most touch points. So, like this area right here, one touch point there. Well, you could count this in as well. So from 20K, one touch point, two touch points, three touch points, and now like a dozen touch points in this area. But most consistent area of resistance is right here. And if you follow that line all the way down, where are we right now? We're actually right on it. Bitcoin just pumped up to the multi-year resistance, guys. This is pretty cool to watch live. We're testing it right now. A lot of people were angry at me for being bullish on Bitcoin, but why would I be bearish? There's just no reason to be bearish. No reason at all. Stock market doing well, up 0.74%. Chainlink coming back to retest $6.10 once again. Let's see if we can hold it. Let's see if we can hold it. Let's go down to the lower time frames just to see. Go to the crack charts. So that target, $6.10 was used as support, coming back to test it again. So let's see if it holds. Let's see if it holds. We'll see if we get strong support off the 1272. If not, we could just chop around. You know, in the beginning of the stream, what I was saying for Chainlink was that it's a long-term hold, first of all, but don't be surprised to see some chop, right? Don't get freaked out if Chainlink, like even if Chainlink was to just like rip down to $5.10 again, like just don't panic, just relax, just relax. Crypto is crazy, it's a little wacky. Just relax. You know, even if Chainlink just sees some wacky movements, just chill. It's a long-term hold. What happens in the short term should not concern you. You should buy that dip. Buy that dip. Do I like VeChain? I don't really know much about it. I've never really followed it much. I've heard a lot of great things about it, and it's doing extremely well right now. And we were just looking at it because it's been going nuts. But I'm not really interested in it. I wish I bought it, of course, at this point, but... Oh, Leon. My bad. So Leon was saying, has Chainlink pumped too much? Should I wait for a sell-off? Well, it depends. It depends, right? Are you looking for a swing trade? Are you looking for a long-term hold? These are the things you have to say, right? If you want me to answer your question, I can explain both. But if you say, "Hey, Kevin, I want to get a good trade on Chainlink. Where should I buy it?" or whatever, which you shouldn't listen to what I say because I could be totally wrong, right? Or, Kevin, I want a long-term hold. Where should I accumulate? That's the better question. But, so, like, you know, for short-term trades, look at your common retraces, your fib retracement from the last swing low to the recent swing high. Try to figure out where the best target is. I'm not really focused on short-term, but, you know, maybe... You know, the area of most support right now, or a good area of previous resistance as new support could be the 382. So maybe if you're trying to do a quick trade, you buy it at $5.74, and you trade this, you know, this next potential swing or something, right? This is something you could do. Maybe you'd be buying along the 21 EMA on the 4-hour, and that could be your trade setup, where you put your stop loss, you know, no more than 2% below the entry. And you get a good risk-reward ratio. Make sure that you have more upside than downside. You're cutting your losses, not allowing yourself to lose more than 2% on any trade if you're doing short-term. Stuff like that, you know, that's like one setup you could do for a short-term trade. Now, I'm not saying you should go do that, but I know a lot of people are probably going to do that. Long-term, guys. Now, if you want to get into Chainlink long-term, and you're very interested in it, and you haven't bought any yet, and you're like, damn, I got to buy some Chainlink. What I suggest, not financial advice, none of this financial advice, but what I suggest is that you buy a little bit right now. Just buy a little bit right now, right? Because this is long term. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. You buy a little bit right now. If we dump, you're going to increase that on that dump. Okay, cool. You increased. Oh man, we went lower. Doesn't matter. You increase more, you're buying more, right? Eventually, you're gonna have a good average price, and then you're in for the next pump, right? So you got to just think like that. Don't rush it. Don't expect anything like, oh my God, if I don't buy now, it's just gonna pump. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not successful. People do not think that way. Giovanni coming in with the 4. Appreciate that. No message, just the bird with a coffee. Reminded me to drink my coffee. I appreciate that, Giovanni. Shout out to David Kim coming up to 10. Mark D coming up to 5. Live Free coming up to 5. Giovanni coming up to 4. I appreciate it, guys. Much appreciated for the generous donos. Every time I see David in here, I'm always like reminded to shell the Discord. Guys, it's free though. It is free to join the Discord. Just hop in. I'm always chatting in there periodically throughout the day. A lot of great people in that Discord. Definitely join the Discord channel. Again, to go back to what I just said, like if you're trying to buy Chainlink for the long term, you know, if you're in this for the long term, just buy a little bit now, just so you start, just so you get started. Because let's say there is no sell-off and Chainlink just pumps. Well, at least you have a little bit, right? But you know, if you buy a little bit, basically what you're doing is you're mentally beginning the accumulation process. Okay, you're starting, right? If we dump, now you think, okay, well, here's an opportunity to start increasing. So it's just, when you want to invest in something for the long term, if there is already good upside potential that you think, you know, there's good upside potential, that's what I say. Just buy a little bit now, and then you're going to wait for things to develop, and then you're going to get a good average price. That's what works for me mentally. Does anyone know if Novogratz is bullish? Novogratz is definitely bullish. Definitely. Ethereum looking like it wants to break out with Bitcoin, potentially. So Martin just said, successful people don't buy Chainlink at all-time highs. Now, if you're a noob, right, and you buy Chainlink now, and then it dumps, and you sell, because you're like, oh no, it dumped, and you take the loss, and you're not long-term focused, yeah, then you're not successful at all, right? Then you're not successful at all. But if you understand how to control yourself, and that you're in this for the long term, and that you're going to increase your positions on the way down if we do see a pullback to the previous all-time high or something, whatever, then you'll be fine, right? Somebody in the chat just said successful people don't buy the all-time high. Yes, the all-time high is always a terrible place to buy, right? But as a long-term trader, it's a little different. You can be gaining a good average price over time, right? And if you had said that a week ago at the all-time high, you said, Kevin, successful people don't buy at the all-time high. Well, look now, right? I mean, there's, you know, Chainlink just has a lot of demand, a lot of upside potential. That's just how it is right now. But you're right. If you're trying to do like a swing trade, or I don't know, if you don't have a plan and you just buy up here and you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to buy Chainlink, and you're just not thinking, right? Then this is terrible, right? You're probably just going to get wrecked somehow on a dump. But you got to have a plan. If you have a plan, you're not going to get wrecked. I'm not saying Chainlink can never go down. That's not what I'm saying. It's likely that we see a lot of swings. Litecoin Foundation says, great channel, we support you. Is that the actual Litecoin Foundation? I wonder. Can I see this somehow? Why can't YouTube doesn't let me click on the user anymore? That's weird. Is this a real channel, Litecoin Foundation? Oh yeah, I'm subscribed to you guys. I think that's you. Is that you? Or is that somebody else? No, that's a different one. Maybe your channel is not the real one. Is it? No, you're not the real channel. but I appreciate your support anyway. So next target for Link, guys, to the upside is $7.40. That doesn't mean, I'm not saying, you know, again, I'm long-term focused. I'm not saying we're going straight to the moon. We could chop in this area, create some sort of consolidation potentially, you know, who knows? You got to be patient, right? Let the market develop. Maybe we create some type of consolidation before the next leg up, right? So just be patient. It might take a few days, maybe a week before the next leg up takes place. Just expect that kind of timing, right? Maybe we see a dump, we'll see. But $7.40 is my next upside target for Chainlink. All right, guys, we've been streaming for an hour and a half, so definitely smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm probably going to end the stream soon. We've been talking about a lot of things. An hour and a half is a pretty good amount of time. A lot of coins are stalling a little bit. We're seeing a little bit of profit taking. Bitcoin just pumped, stalling here a little bit. But we've talked about so many things in this stream. So many things. We've just been going constantly. So if you guys enjoyed this content, definitely hit that like button and subscribe. Also, sign up for the Cryptowatch platform in description and in the chat. Sign up for the Cryptowatch platform, which is my preferred platform for charting and trading. I have a tutorial on how to use it on my channel. And guys, you can chart and trade directly off your price charts. A lot of cool features. And of course, guys, Cryptowatch is now totally free to trade. Totally free. It used to cost $15 to connect to the exchanges and trade on them. Now you can trade for free. So click that link, definitely join. And also, if you want to see so guys, at the beginning of the year, I started an altcoin portfolio in my Patreon, and I've been building it up from scratch, right? I wanted to start a portfolio for altcoins from zero and build it up as like a project for Patreon. And there's coins in there that I haven't even talked about on YouTube, haven't even talked about on the stream. So it's more of like an exclusive thing. If you guys want to see what coins I have in there, actually, I just hit that portfolio just passed a 20,000 US dollar value yesterday. So it's valued above 20,000 USD now. So that project, that like it's kind of like an experimental portfolio, is going really well. Just exceeded 20K US dollars. And guys, really, Patreon is just a way to support the channel directly. No, I don't have corona, don't worry, guys. Patreon is just a way to support the channel directly. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it. If you like the music, you know, from all the channel stuff, all the artists are in the description. What else? Just doing some shilling before we end the stream. And of course, guys, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all your support, all the likes, all the love, all the subscribers that subscribed today. We got a bunch of subs from this stream. And congrats to all the altcoin holders out there, seeing incredible gains right now. Chainlink doing awesome. Bitcoin starting to pump. Yeah, so we talked about a ton of things today, and I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Also, shout out to David Kim for the donation, Mark Duncan, Live Free, Giovanni. Much appreciated, guys, for being so generous. David Kim literally always coming with the 10. By the way, David, you don't have to do that. David is a mod in the Discord. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I'll play some music for the outro, and I'll see you guys in the next video or the next stream. See you soon, guys. Peace out.
You